YouTube, how are you doing? How are you doing? This is Tremaine Rush, um, part of the Tremaine Rush or the T Rush show. We just want to come at you just for a little while. I know the title is These Are My Confessions. Well, basically, today we're going to talk about the truths about life. And from the desk or from the heart of a father, I definitely want to talk to you about being single. How should you look at life? Things that I tell my daughters, things that I tell my spiritual sons about relationship. So let's go ahead and jump straight in there. I'm seeing a lot of people uh, talk about what it is to be single and how to find a mate and how to or what they need to do as far as getting married. And the one thing that I tell my daughter, I try to teach my daughters, and what I would tell any female is something that I got from Bishop Meredith from uh, Jacksonville, North Carolina. And he told all the young ladies that you need to live by yourself at least a year before you get married. You need to live by yourself at least a year before you get married. And so that this is what my teaching is coming from right now. My talk to you is coming from that angle of not just the men, not just the women, but especially the men. You need to be living by yourself and taking care of yourself at least a year before you actually get married. What and there are different reasons, different purposes, so that if you got any flaws in your life or if you're not meeting your goals, one of the temptations when you're married is to blame the other person for the reason why you're not there. So if you're taking notes, that's point number one. I wish I had my graphics. I can put point number one. Um, Point number one is you don't want to blame anybody else for why you're not where you need to be. So at the lowest level, y'all, listen, at the lowest level, get yourself together. When it comes to health, exercise, make sure your body is tight. Make sure your wardrobe is where you want it. Make sure your mind is there mentally. Get a counselor because a lot of us have been going through things from our youth, teenage years, and now you're an adult, and there's no telling what you've gone through in your the first stages of being an adult, and there's no telling what many of you have gone through. So absolutely get counseling because you don't want to bring crazy into a new relationship. Um, you don't want to bring too much baggage. I mean, you do want to be yourself, but you want to be healed and you want to learn how to be happy by yourself. So that's one point. The other point is, I hope I'm not covering up my mic. The other point is the reason why my advice is to be able to take care of yourself for at least a year. It is because through that you will learn money, you will learn how to budget, you will take on the responsibility of making the right amount of money, whatever that is for you. Um, Being able to take care of yourself, being able to get around, being able to pay your light bill, your water bill, your rent or your mortgage, being able to take care of your health insurance. It's just different. Every aspect of life, of where life is, you need to be able to be a survival. So I'm sorry. You need to be able to be a survivor on your level. You need to be able to just to be able to have peace and have happiness all by yourself. Okay. So now that you got that, so this is the reason so that when you do find that person, you find that person that you're attracted to, that you are infatuated with, and there's nothing wrong with infatuation because you need that. But that person that you find, you look across the room and y'all talking or whatever like that. So now y'all are able to bring your lives together, and you can. This is the reason you never want to make a decision when you're in a desperate situation. I know Disney. This is point number two or two and a half. This is point number two. Women, I know that Disney taught you that you need to look for your Prince Charming. But the whole thing about finding Prince Charming is you're supposed to be a princess. So a lot of people are looking for Prince Charming, but yet you're not a prince. You're not a princess. And then you got a whole lot of frogs looking for princesses, but they're not a prince. Okay. So that's one of the main thing is um make sure that you are becoming who you need to be before you look for that person. I think it was Lloyd Watson that said this. He brought a bunch of young men to a college just to give them inspiration. And they saw all the girls coming out. They're like, "Oh man, I can't wait to come to college. Oh my God, look." And so he told those young men, he says, "I know y'all saved, and I know y'all praying for the perfect woman. But while you are praying for the perfect woman, make sure that you pray to God to make you the perfect man for that perfect woman." You know what I'm saying? Um, and so here's my point three. I heard this young man say this, and it really upset me. And he said, he was talking to a female. He said, "You know what? I need you in my life because you will help me be a good man." I said, "What?" Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I feel like if I get with you, that I'll be a better person." That's not fair. Why would you put the responsibility of a person your age or in your or somebody that you're thinking about dating or marrying? Why would you put the responsibility of you being good on them? That's your mama job. That was your daddy job or your guardian job. That's not the job. And ladies or men, it is not your responsibility to make somebody else great. Even when I'm doing marriage counseling, one of the things that I always say is it is not my responsibility to make, listen to the verbiage. It is not my responsibility or capability to make my wife happy. I can't make you anything. Now, I'm supposed to do 100% of what I'm supposed to do as a man, but it's up to you, and it's up to you and how you look at me, how you perceive me, how you judge me, and your standards, whether or not you're going to be happy with who I am. See what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter how awesome my wife is. If I don't value her, if I don't value her time, if I don't value her efforts, if I don't value who she is, then it's a possibility that I can not be happy, but it's not her fault. So I have to be in love with my wife, and so this is where the scripture says love covers a multitude of sin or faults. Now I hope I ain't using it out of context, but in one sense, how that is, if I love you, it doesn't matter if you're rich or if you're poor or if you or whatever like that or whatever the case is. I love you. You know, I love you because you're my wife. I love you because of who you are. There's nothing you can do to stop my love unless it's something out of pocket. So going back to this idea is you should never put the responsibility on somebody else for you to be great. You need to work on yourself. That's between you and God. You need to have self motivation to be awesome, self motivation to look good. Don't fix yourself up because I'm complaining or because you fixing yourself up trying to get me, and then once you get me, now you don't care. You know. So what I'm saying is create an atmosphere that is conducive for peace and love and joy. And then when somebody comes into your world, then they can enjoy who you are, not who you got. Oh Lord, well, let me go ahead and do this to make this man happy. Oh Lord, well, let me do this to make this woman happy. No, I shouldn't have to become something. I should already be great. Now, we're not talking about, I hear some of you that are married, I can hear you in my spirit. Now, we're not talking about um uh changing after the years because after you get married, you will have to progress and you will have to mature because at least every 5 years we all change. Prayerfully, we change in the same direction. Prayerfully, we change in harmony. That's the idea. Um, and being that this is a Christian uh, platform, um, I'm gonna leave you with this. Again, we already talked about the other things, but Get yourself together with God. Get your life together with God. Live, whether you're married or whether you're single, there is still a certain type of lifestyle you're supposed to be living. So this is where you ain't got to ask no questions about what I believe, what I don't believe, and this, that, and the other. You need to make sure that you are in good standing with God and that you understand what it is to be saved, and all what goes with that. Present your body, all that good stuff. And then if I were giving you advice, I would tell you to pick somebody that love God more than they love you. Let me say it again. I would, because of who I am, I would choose a person that love God more than they love me, and that would put I won't say a guarantee, but that would put uh, something there where it's a type of security that I know that even when we have bad days, that you're going to put God first, and you're going to go to God and not your mama, your sister, that side piece or whatever like that. That you're going to go to God. Okay, and so listen, that's all I have for right now. I can answer more questions if I have. I can answer more questions if I have questions to answer. And as we go through this life in this year, I'm going to do more of this. Share this, hit the like, subscribe, send it to somebody. I hope what I've said have blessed you and maybe put light on certain areas. In this first, take this first month to please get yourself together. Listen, I love you in Jesus' name. There's nothing we can do about it.